About a month ago, I planted a small patch of sunflowers to provide some summer color, as well as to provide some food for the wildlife and the birds later on this fall. And the sunflowers are coming up good, but the problem is I've also got a lot of Johnson grass coming up good. And Johnson grass is an introduced grass to this area, and it's real aggressive and it'll outgrow everything else. And so I've got to get in here and try to kill it. But one of my problems is I could spray it, but if I spray it with some kind of chemical like a glyphosate or something like that, it's going to kill all the sunflowers too. So I need to either come in here and hoe this grass down by hand, or just go ahead and spray it and kill it. And so how do you do that? How do you be selective? Well, what I'm going to do is spot spray it. But I'm going to spot spray it not with glyphosate, but a natural way of spraying it using a concoction of vinegar, a cup of salt, and about a tablespoon of soap. The vinegar is an acidic compound which will kill the grass, and the good thing about using vinegar as a herbicide is it doesn't take a week or so to kill it. You'll know within a couple hours what you've killed or not, and that's good because you can see where you've missed and where you haven't missed and be able to come back and spray again. And so I'm going to spray this area in here with this vinegar solution. Again, it's a gallon of vinegar. It's just white vinegar like you get at the grocery store. A gallon of white vinegar, a cup of salt, just table salt, and then about a tablespoon of dishwashing soap. The dishwashing soap actually helps it stick to the plant. So by doing that, I'll be able to go in here, spray this Johnson grass in between all the sunflowers, and then in a couple hours, I'll be able to see what I've killed and what I haven't killed, because again, this concoction will kill these weeds pretty quick. The best time to do this is actually when it's hot and dry outside. So we're in the middle of the day right now, so it's pretty blazing out here. And that way the Johnson grass will take up the solution a lot better. And so hopefully, again, within a couple hours, I'll know what I've killed and what I haven't killed and be able to come back and spray accordingly. So I just sprayed my first batch out, and I'll come back in another couple hours and see how much I missed or how much I didn't miss and respray some spots. But again, this vinegar and salt and dishwasher concoction will really put the plants down pretty quick. You got to be careful where you're spraying, because again, it'll kill everything it touches. So, but using this little 2-gallon spot sprayer I have, I'm able to just go around and pick the spots I want and pick the weeds I want, because not everything growing in this little field is all Johnson grass and sunflowers. There's some other weeds I want to keep because they're good for wildlife as well. But you got to remember, using this concoction, it works really well, but too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing, because it does contain salt. You do run the risk, if you use it too much, of putting too much salt down on your ground and having to remediate that later on. So usually I'll use this method once or twice a year, especially on something like this where I just need to get rid of a few weeds. And it's a really effective way. It's a really cheap way to use herbicide. It's a natural way to use herbicide. But again, you got to watch how much you use. But overall, I'll come back and look at this spot and retreat it as necessary, and hopefully have a really good stand of sunflowers later on this summer.